people with disability. 2.6 of them are people with intellectual. Very sorry. There are 2.6 people with intellectual disabilities. This is the scenario about the world. This is the scenario about Italy. In Italy, at the moment, there are people with disability which are constantly increasing. We are talking about 3.1 million of people in Italy with disability. That means 5.2% of the population. This is a particular situation, especially in schools. In schools, in the last 5 years, we have 75,000 people with disability increasing year by year. That means plus 25% of the population of pupils. Nearly 40% of the population of pupils in the school are with intellectual disability. So that's where we wanted to start to build our good Switzerland. Actually, we are sensible. We design and deliver multisensory environment made with untreated wood for people with intellectual disability. And that's what we do. In the next 5 years, we will have a particular tradition. We will have a lot of space available in schools. I'm talking about, this is the most recent data, I'm talking about 2 million of square meters. That means something like 42,000 of classrooms, which is a huge amount of space, which will not be available because of the decreasing of the natality and the less amount of pupils. So that's where we want to start with our business. So we have a problem. Number of people with disability is increasing. Space for inclusion, not so much yet, because we are arriving here, proposing our solution, which is a wood snozzle, which is the combination of a snozzle, which is a multisensory space for people with disability, the use of untreated wood, and the benefits of the essence that are spread from the wood material, the ICF protocol, which is a protocol which is internationally used to classify and monitorizing people with disability, and the result is the wood snozzle, okay, which is a multisensory environment for people with intellectual disability entirely made of untreated wood. This is the story of the wood snozzle. That one is where we all started. That's my son. My beloved 14 years old kid who's got a very, very rare genetic disease. And that's where it all started. A few years ago, I decided to dedicate a part of my job to make research for people with disabilities. So the idea of the wood snozzle became a research project funded by university and other companies, and the research project became a prototype design, and the prototype design became a construction, and the construction became actually a room. It was opened at the end of February of this year, okay, 28th of February, and it's based in Lozza Destino, a primary school in the province of Padua. And it's used. And every single part of the room is dedicated to a sensory stimulation. So we have the visual space, the tactile space, and also the calm space where you can find calm to yourself and relax. Okay. After we finished to design and build that, there's been a lot of talk about this room. All the press releases and all the papers, the scientific papers, that's been published during the 2 months of the fabrication. So basically, the wood nozzle is a place where the environment becomes a therapeutic device, where you can find self-regulation for your senses, a stress arousal, and a sensory regulation and learning, also for people with not so bad disabilities. Actually, you can build your own wood nozzle, because we based all the design, all the detailed design on modular and prefabricated components. False ceilings, walls, cabinets, walls, floors, and so on. And so you can decide how to build your own wood nozzle depending on which kind of sensor you want to stimulate. For example, this is an example of how you can assemble a wood nozzle using some different part of the old components. All the wood you see here is untreated wood, larch, fir, cedar, and a bit. So we want to start from Veneto. In Veneto there are more than 4,000 schools. Then we want to develop the company, develop the market in all Italy. That means 57,000 schools. And then we want to move on and go into educational center schools, nursing home, rehabilitation center, staff well-being, wellness, and every kind of building and occupation that can need for some rest, relaxing, especially for people with intellectual disabilities. Okay, so that's the revenue model we are going to move, thinking about moving on after the design, build, and deliver, moving towards the ICF training, and of course the licensing, production, and the project certification. Roughly, we have calculated that the cost of the first wood nozzle that we built was something like 60,000 euros. We are going to try to reach in the next couple of years a profit margin of between 10 and 20%. But of course that depends on how many wood nozzles we are going to build. That's the thing. All of us are expert or even more expert about the design of inclusion spaces, schools, wood components, and so on. And we have some partners which are La Nostra Famiglia, Consorzio Legno Veneto, and Bozza, which are three very expert companies about disabilities and production of wood, which are our company partners in the design and build phases. So that's it. That's the story of G. We want to repeat that as much as possible again and again and again.